Have you ever watched someone you love start to slow down, but they just brushed it off and said, "It's age, catching up with me"? That was exactly what happened to Linda, a 69-year-old grandmother from Austin, Texas. Linda has always been what people call young at heart. She used to walk every morning with her granddaughter. They would stroll down the street, sometimes for 30 or 40 minutes, chatting about school, baking, and family plans. Linda loved those walks. They were her joy and her rhythm. But one morning, something unexpected happened. Something that shook her confidence more than she could have imagined. She had just stepped onto the staircase in her home, holding a mug of tea, heading down to the garden like she had done hundreds of times. But halfway down, she suddenly stopped. Her right leg felt like it gave out, not because she tripped or missed a step, but because her legs felt too weak to hold her. A strange trembling moved through her thighs. For a second, she had to grip the railing. Frozen, afraid to move, she made it down safely. But something had changed. That moment stayed with her, not just in her body, but in her mind. It's probably just getting older. She told her daughter later, "Maybe I'm just tired." But deep down, she knew it felt different. A few days later, her daughter insisted she see a doctor. Just to be sure, Linda agreed. She expected the doctor to talk about joints, or maybe prescribe a vitamin. Instead, the doctor asked her a simple question. "What do you eat for breakfast every day?" Linda paused. "Usually 2 slices of toast, white bread, a banana or some grapes, and a glass of orange juice." "Why?" That was the moment everything began to click. The doctor explained that after age 60, the body processes food, especially sugar and refined carbs, very differently. What once gave you energy might now be draining your strength. Those healthy breakfasts, they were setting off blood sugar spikes, draining nutrients, increasing inflammation, and quietly chipping away at the muscles in her legs. It had nothing to do with laziness or age, and everything to do with what was on her plate. Linda's story is not rare. In fact, it is more common than most people realize. Millions of older adults begin to notice a slow but steady decline in leg strength, balance, and endurance. And too often, they assume it is just old age. They never stop to question if something in their daily diet might be part of the problem. But here is the truth. No one tells us enough weakness, imbalance, even joint pain. These are not always the inevitable cost of aging. They are often the result of habits that can be changed. Linda didn't need medication. She needed a new understanding, and she is not alone. So let me ask you, have your legs started feeling heavier? Do you avoid stairs more than you used to? Do walks feel shorter or harder than they should? If any of this sounds familiar, you are not broken. You are not too old. You might just need to look closer at your meals. This is not about fear. It is about awareness. Because once you see what is silently weakening your legs, you can take action and regain your strength, one step at a time. And now, I want to hear from you. Please scroll down and share a full sentence in the comments about what this story made you think about. Maybe it reminded you of a small habit you've overlooked, a certain food you eat every day, or someone in your family who's been feeling weaker lately. Your comment is more than just a reply. It helps others stop and think, especially those who may not realize what's quietly affecting their strength and balance. Let your words be a gentle wake-up call for someone else who needs to hear this. This is not just Linda's story. It could be yours. And the good news is you are not too late to rewrite the ending. Most people think weak legs are just part of getting older, that it is normal, expected, unavoidable. But what if that assumption is not only wrong, it is dangerous? Here is the truth. Your legs are not getting weaker just because of age. They are getting weaker because of the foods you eat every single day without realizing the long-term impact. After the age of 60, the human body changes dramatically in how it processes certain nutrients, especially sugar, salt, and refined carbohydrates. What your body once handled with ease in your 30s and 40s can now set off a chain reaction of inflammation, nutrient depletion, and gradual muscle loss. That morning bowl of cereal, that piece of white bread, or that sweetened fruit juice might seem harmless, but over time, those choices begin to erode your leg strength slowly, silently, and steadily. Medical research supports this. According to the National Institutes of Health, a condition called sarcopenia, the loss of muscle mass and function with age, affects up to 50% of adults over 80. But what most people do not realize is that diet plays a far bigger role than aging alone. In fact, one major review published by the Mayo Clinic highlights that diets high in processed sugar and low in essential nutrients accelerate both inflammation and muscle deterioration, especially in the lower body. Why does this matter so much? Because your legs are the foundation of your independence. They help you move, balance, and live freely. When your leg muscles weaken, everything becomes harder. Walking to the mailbox, getting out of a chair, stepping into the bathtub. Over time, those small challenges add up, turning into fear of falling or needing assistance for everyday tasks. Worse yet, some of the foods we believed were healthy, like juice, bananas, or low-fat snacks, can actually be harmful after a certain age. They may cause blood sugar spikes, joint inflammation, and even calcium loss from your bones, combined with reduced mobility. These hidden effects rob you of energy and stability, one bite at a time. The most dangerous part: many older adults never connect the dots. They assume it is their age, their joints, or their shoes, but it is often their fork. So, let us set the record straight. This is not just about aging. It is about inflammation, nutrient imbalances, and the subtle wear and tear caused by everyday foods that no longer serve your body's needs. And that brings us to a critical turning point, because if what you eat can weaken your legs, it also means that what you eat can strengthen them, but only if you know what to avoid. So what are these silent saboteurs, the everyday foods quietly breaking down your legs and stealing your strength? Let us take a closer look at the 5 biggest culprits. You might be surprised to find a few of them sitting in your kitchen right now. 1. Boxed fruit juice, sweet but dangerous. Let us start with one of the most common morning habits: drinking boxed fruit juice. It sounds healthy, right? Orange juice with breakfast, maybe apple juice with lunch. The labels promise vitamins, antioxidants, and a fresh start to your day. But for older adults, these boxed juices may be doing more harm than good. The problem lies in how fruit juice is processed. When fruit is turned into juice, especially the kind sold in cartons or bottles, it loses almost all of its fiber. What is left is a concentrated dose of fructose sugar that enters your bloodstream quickly, causing a sharp spike in blood sugar. That sugar spike might give you a quick burst of energy, but it is followed by a crash. And for someone over 60, that crash can mean more than just feeling tired. It can mean legs that suddenly feel heavy, joints that ache more than usual, and a lack of motivation to move. Even more concerning is the connection between fructose and uric acid. When you consume high levels of fructose, especially from fruit juice, your liver converts much of it into uric acid. High uric acid levels have been linked to joint inflammation, especially in the knees and feet. This can make walking, standing, or even getting out of bed in the morning feel painful and stiff. Beverages like orange juice, grape juice, and even so-called 100% natural fruit blends are often marketed as healthy choices. But the reality is that without fiber to slow down digestion, these juices behave more like sugary sodas in your system, quick to spike your blood sugar and quick to drain your energy. Take Linda, for example. Every morning, she started her day with a glass of boxed orange juice. She believed it was helping her stay energized, but when her doctor recommended switching to whole fruits with the skin, like an apple or a handful of berries, everything changed. Within just a month, Linda noticed that her morning walks lasted longer. Her legs did not feel as heavy. She felt less soreness in her knees and more steady on her feet. The truth is, your body needs more than just vitamins. It needs real fiber, steady blood sugar, and foods that work with your age, not against it, and boxed fruit juice, no matter how fresh it looks, may be one of the worst offenders for older adults trying to stay strong and mobile. 2. White bread and white rice. Hidden sugar. Real muscle loss. Next on the list is a pair of familiar staples found in nearly every kitchen: white bread and white rice. They are cheap, convenient, and often served at every meal. But for older adults, these foods come with hidden risks that quietly chip away at muscle strength. Especially in the legs, white bread and white rice are refined carbohydrates. That means they have been stripped of their fiber, vitamins, and nutrients, leaving behind a starchy base that converts quickly into sugar once digested. It is this fast breakdown that makes them so dangerous. When you eat these refined carbs, your blood sugar surges. The body reacts by releasing insulin to manage the spike. But as we age, our cells become less responsive to insulin. This leads to higher inflammation and less efficient energy use, especially in muscle tissue. Over time, repeated sugar spikes from meals heavy in white bread or white rice promote chronic inflammation. And that inflammation does not just affect your gut or heart, it reaches into your joints and your muscle fibers. What you feel is a subtle but steady weakening in your legs. Your energy drains faster, your steps feel heavier, and your ability to move with confidence begins to fade. There is also the long-term concern of sarcopenia, the age-related loss of muscle mass. According to the National Institutes of Health, diets high in refined carbohydrates and low in protein significantly increase the risk of sarcopenia after age 60. White bread and rice provide quick fuel, but not the essential nutrients your muscles need to repair and grow. They feed your hunger, but starve your strength. To put it in perspective, one slice of white bread can have the same effect on your blood sugar as a tablespoon of table sugar. After 65, your body starts to respond to these foods as if you were pre-diabetic, even if you have never been diagnosed with blood sugar issues. So, while white bread and rice might seem harmless, they are anything but neutral. For older adults, they can accelerate muscle loss, increase inflammation, and make every step a little harder than it needs to be. Replacing them with whole grains like brown rice, oats, or sprouted bread can help stabilize energy, reduce inflammation, and support leg strength as you age. 3. High fructose fruits. When bananas and grapes work against you. Many people believe that fruit is always a healthy choice, but not all fruits are created equal. Especially as we age, sweet fruits that are high in fructose, such as bananas, grapes, and watermelon, can have surprising effects on the body, particularly the legs. Now, this doesn't mean these fruits are bad or should be avoided completely. What matters is the amount, the timing, and what you eat them with. For example, eating a banana by itself first thing in the morning on an empty stomach can spike your blood sugar more sharply than if you had eaten it with some Greek yogurt or almond butter. Likewise, having a few grapes after a protein-rich meal is very different from snacking on them by the handful all afternoon. The key here is not to fear fruit, but to understand how your aging body responds to it. Fruits are still part of a healthy diet if chosen and combined wisely. What we're highlighting is that after age 60, some fruits may work against your legs if eaten too often, in isolation, or without balance. Fructose is a natural sugar found in fruit, but when consumed in large amounts, especially without the balance of fiber or protein, it can lead to fluid retention. This is especially noticeable in the lower body. You might feel like your legs are heavier than usual, or you may see swelling around your ankles by the end of the day. This puffiness is not just uncomfortable. It is a sign that your body is having trouble processing the sugar load. Fructose also plays a direct role in raising uric acid levels in the blood. Elevated uric acid can build up in the joints, leading to inflammation and pain, most commonly in the knees, feet, and big toes. If you have ever experienced stiffness or aching after eating a sweet fruit salad or snacking on grapes, this could be why. These effects are especially concerning for older adults who already have high blood pressure or are managing diabetes after age 60. The body's ability to respond to insulin naturally slows down. That means even foods that once felt perfectly fine can now cause dramatic shifts in blood sugar, leading to energy crashes and increased inflammation. Linda experienced this firsthand. For years, she believed bananas were a good morning snack, quick, convenient, and full of potassium. But when her doctor looked at her blood sugar patterns and swelling in her legs, he saw the bigger picture. Her daily banana, especially on an empty stomach, was spiking her blood sugar and triggering inflammation. After replacing it with lower sugar fruits like berries or sliced apple with almond butter, the swelling went down and her morning energy improved. This small change reminded Linda, and now reminds us, that age doesn't mean we must give up fruit, but that we must be more intentional about it, pairing fruits with protein or fiber, avoiding high fructose ones on an empty stomach, and rotating a variety of options throughout the week can make a powerful difference. The goal isn't restriction, it's smarter balance. Your legs and your long-term mobility deserve that care. 4 and 5. Fried foods and processed meats, silent destroyers of muscle and mobility. Few things are as comforting as the smell of crispy fried food or the familiar taste of deli meats in a sandwich. These foods are part of many people's routines, often tied to memories of family dinners, quick lunches, or easy meals. But as we grow older, the way our bodies respond to these foods changes dramatically, and not for the better. Fried foods, especially those cooked in reused or industrial oils, are among the biggest triggers of inflammation in aging tissues. Each time you eat something that has been deep fried in vegetable oil, you are introducing oxidized fats into your system. These unstable molecules fuel chronic inflammation, especially in soft tissues like joints and muscles for your legs. This means more stiffness, more swelling, and slower recovery after any kind of activity. The damage does not stop there. Many fried foods are coated in refined flour or starches, adding to blood sugar spikes, and when consumed frequently, they contribute to weight gain, a major burden on your knees, hips, and ankles. Every extra pound of body weight adds roughly 4 pounds of pressure to your knee joints. That math adds up quickly, especially if your diet regularly includes fried snacks or fast food. Then there are processed meats, sausages, bacon, deli turkey, ham, and salami. These meats are preserved with chemicals like nitrates and nitrites. While these substances extend shelf life and improve color, they also cause harm to the body. Nitrates have been shown to damage the tiny blood vessels that supply your muscles, especially in the legs, reducing oxygen flow and impairing recovery. Processed meats are also loaded with sodium. Too much salt leads to fluid retention, especially in the lower body. This can cause noticeable swelling in your feet and calves, and make your legs feel heavy or tight. For older adults, especially those with heart conditions or blood pressure concerns, this swelling can quickly become a serious issue. What is worse, these foods often replace more nourishing choices. If your plate is filled with bacon and fried potatoes, there is no room left for foods that support strength like leafy greens, lean proteins, or healthy fats. But here is the good news. The solution is not complicated. It starts with shifting towards simple, fresh meals that work with your body, not against it. Instead of fried chicken, try baked or grilled chicken seasoned with herbs. Swap out deli meats for freshly cooked turkey or roast beef made at home. When you crave something savory, opt for hard-boiled eggs, a slice of grilled salmon, or a hearty bean soup. These foods are rich in protein, support muscle repair, and are naturally lower in inflammatory compounds. Even cooking methods make a big difference. Steaming, baking, roasting, or slow cooking preserves nutrients and reduces the chemical load that comes from high-heat frying. Using olive oil or avocado oil instead of vegetable shortening provides healthy fats that protect your joints rather than inflame them. You do not have to give up flavor or satisfaction. Just rethink how your meals are prepared and what they are made of. Your legs depend on strong circulation, steady muscle support, and reduced inflammation. Fried foods and processed meats attack all three of those pillars, replacing them with cleaner, fresher choices is not just about eating better. It is about standing stronger, walking farther, and living more freely. What you choose to put on your plate today shapes how your legs will carry you tomorrow. Your legs are more than just limbs. They are your freedom, your ability to move, to get up without help, to take a walk, to climb stairs, to go wherever you want on your own terms. But every year, too many people lose that freedom, not because they are old, but because they did not know what was quietly weakening them from the inside out. Weak legs are not simply a sign of aging. They are often the result of daily choices, one spoonful of sugar at a time, one slice of white bread, one glass of boxed juice. Foods that seem harmless, even healthy, can chip away at your strength, draining your energy, stiffening your joints, and accelerating muscle loss. The science is clear. The National Institute on Aging reports that after age 60, muscle mass declines by up to 3% each year unless steps are taken to prevent it. The Mayo Clinic confirms that diets high in processed carbohydrates, added sugars, and sodium increase the risk of sarcopenia, inflammation, and fatigue. Add in poor circulation from salty, processed foods, and you have a recipe for declining mobility. But here is the good news. You are not stuck. You are not broken. And you are not too late to make a change. You can take back control, starting today, by removing just one of these harmful foods from your routine. Maybe it is the morning fruit juice you thought was healthy. Maybe it is the white rice with dinner, or the deli meat sandwich you grab for lunch. Whatever it is, choose one thing and stop it now. Then, watch how your body responds. Within a few weeks, many people report less swelling in their legs, fewer aches, a return of energy in the afternoons, more confidence when walking, fewer pauses to catch their breath. It may seem simple, but it is real, and it is powerful. Linda did not start with a complete diet overhaul. She just swapped her orange juice for whole fruit and replaced her bread with oats. That small step gave her the energy to walk a little farther. That walk led to better sleep, and better sleep helped her feel strong enough to try other changes. It was not about being perfect. It was about being consistent and intentional. Remember, you are not just eating to feel full. You are eating to fuel your future. Every bite you take is either feeding your strength or feeding your decline. The choice is yours. So ask yourself honestly, what is one food from this video you are willing to stop eating today? Just one. Write it down. Better yet, scroll down and share it in the comments. Let this be your first real step towards stronger legs and greater freedom. And if this video helped you open your eyes to something you never thought about before, please do 3 things. 1. Leave a comment below. Tell me what you learned or what you plan to change. Your comment may be the reason someone else realizes they are not alone. 2. Subscribe to this channel. We have many more practical, science-based tips coming specifically for seniors who want to stay active, independent, and in control of their health. 3. Turn on notifications. That little bell makes sure you never miss a new video, each one designed to help you live better. One habit at a time. You have made it this far, which means you care about your health and your independence. Do not let that go to waste. Your legs are your freedom, and your plate is the key to protecting them. Choose wisely today, because the life you want to live tomorrow depends on it.